Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The day we have been waiting for is here, at least for some of us. The Kodiak 100 is finally in our hands, and it's an amazing plane. I released a video on this in YouTube the other day. Feel free to check it out. It was so nice of Alex from Simworks Studios to share it in their official Discord, and some people seem to like the video, so hopefully you guys do as well. But yes, really enjoying flying this plane. Thank you for joining me on today's stream. Welcome back, guys. I'm super excited. I'm actually, to be honest, I'm actually a bit preoccupied. My mind is a bit preoccupied because a few minutes before the stream I was just googling around, and I just googled Kodiak 100, the name of the plane, pilot operating handbook, and I found a link that downloads the exact handbook, all 404 pages of it with signatures and everything. So this is the official document. This is available like on the first result in the Google search in an aviation website, and it's as detailed as it can be. And I was just reading through it. It's like, oh my goodness, there is so much context to be learned here. Because so I am enjoying just reading it, and when I looked at the time, oh my goodness, I have to prepare for the stream. So yes, we'll try and read that throughout this stream. We'll see if we can discover more tidbits. But welcome, thank you for joining. How's everyone doing? Nerd. Nerd. Confirmed. How are you doing, Merwaz? Glad you could join today. Hey Bot, Patrick, how are you guys? Thank you for joining, and super thank you for subbing 16 months all in a streak. Thank you for the constant support. Happy lurking, and yes, regards to Stacy and the rest of the family. Hope you guys have a great holiday. Also, before we start anything else, I just want to announce, in case you missed it, we will have a Christmas stream 2 days from now. The usual trucking stream, I highly recommend you guys join, because in that stream we probably won't be trucking, we probably won't be playing anything. I'll just be hanging out with you guys and doing tons of giveaways. The list of giveaways is growing day by day. I tried to compute the amount of giveaways that we'll be giving out. It's close to $1,000 already, the value of all the things that we'll be giving out. So the developers, the modders, they have been so amazing at just giving keys, giving products, coupon codes, and I'm more than happy to disseminate all of that to you guys. So that's all going to happen on Friday. And also, yes, the Kodiak 100 or Okavango Delta, whichever one you choose, will be part of the giveaway. So I'm in contact with Alex from Simworks Studios, and he graciously gave me one key to give away during that time. So yes, feel free to join if you have time. Same time, just 2 days from now. And anyway, let me get back to saying hello to everybody. Hey Scotsman first. And yes, there will be some train sim DLCs as well. Yes. Have you heard of a game called was it Zusi? Zusi 3? I just got a key from it today. I looked at the Steam page, my goodness, it was like $76. Hardcore train simulator looks like. Let me see if I missed anyone. Thank you for joining. Hey, Larger. I heard you'll be joining today. Yes, for anyone who wants to join us in today's flight, let me hide my face here so you can see the server. This guy. So join me in the Southeast Asia server, and I'll share with you more details on the flight as we go. But we'll be continuing our Appalachian tour. Okay, so Southeast Asia server, and we should be able to see each other as we fly. 1 second, I forgot to turn on Sky Park. Let me do that in the background here as it loads up. Okay, 1 second. train sim. Yeah, me neither, but yes, it's interesting. Second, let me boot that up. You're here in pain after your hernia operation from yesterday. Oh my goodness. Yes, I hope we can help out a bit with that, bot. Speedy recovery to you. Thank you for joining us. Like that blue color. Same here. Same here. I really like this. This is the mixed interior. So in case you haven't seen this Kodiak 100 yet, this is such an amazing plane. So many variations. So if we look at the aircraft, the list of aircraft, there are 4 different types. And this determines what the exterior looks like. There is an exterior which is the default Kodiak 100. There is one with the cargo pod version. The one with the belly below. I heard that not everyone likes it. San Simiano, a very regular in our community, very much into flight sims. Started almost the same time I did. So he doesn't like the belly. He likes it more without. So yes, there are 4 versions. The one with or without the belly, and one with and without the tundra tires, the bigger tires, the bigger main tires for the bush flying. So there are 4 main variants of the exterior, but in the interior, each one of these 4 contain, I don't know how many, dozens of liveries, literally, because all of them have different kinds of interiors. Tundra, Summit, mixed, cargo. So it basically depends how the interior config will look like. Will it have seats for passengers? Will it be for cargo? Will it be a mix of both? Will it be a luxury kind of interior? So all of these things, in addition to changing the colors outside, they change the format, the look inside. Let me know if you're interested in seeing a particular one, or if you want to go through them. But for now, we're going with the mixed one, so you can see it in all its glory. Right. What day is that? Well, it's 2 days from now. It depends what day it is for you at the moment. I think you're in the US, bot, right? So it should be Thursday night for you, I think. Hey Crom, thank you for joining. Oh, I know, right? Yeah. This is the toughest plane I've flown to date. And that is surprising. I didn't realize it was such a challenge to fly, but I'm starting to understand how pilots really struggle, and how much they know and how many precautions they have to take in order to fly safe. Because a wrong thing, a single thing that you miss can be catastrophic. And this plane really highlights that fact. That's great. Yeah, exactly. You have to be gentle and make sure your trim is set. If your trims are not set, then it's almost game over already after you take off. Being a nerd is cool, at least in this stream, whereas, at least in my books, it is cool. So when you call someone nerd, that is the highest praise you can give. There is a Homer Simpson audio clip of that nerd thing that I hear often. We can probably put that here. We'll see. Alright. 24th. Yes, 24th for you, larger. Yes, it won't be trucking though. It will be mostly giveaway stream. I'll even categorize it in Twitch as IRL because we probably won't be able to truck with all the giveaways. I ended up buying it, larger, because Alex was super busy, understandably. He told me he'll be giving me a copy, but I couldn't wait anymore. The Kodiak 100 was released and I still did not have a copy because Alex and the team were struggling with the servers, right? And I said to myself, well, I don't think I can wait any longer. I want to fly it now, so I bought it. And I told him, if you're still planning to give me one, maybe we can just make that the giveaway. And so he did. So the copy that was meant for me is now a giveaway. I bought it in the end. Ban that guy, San Simiano. Yeah, he doesn't like the belly. Zusi 3, yes, indeed. Caravans and Kodiaks don't look right without the belly. I definitely agree, Morvaz. I definitely agree. I've gotten so used with that belly. Looking at it without just looks weird to me. This guy, without the pod, it looks so weird. How does that cargo pod work anyway? Do you see that from the interior? Do you guys know? Or is that something like you load from outside the plane? Like there's a door from outside the plane and you don't really have access to it from inside. I actually don't know how that works at cargo pod there. The second plane I fly. Interestingly, Murbaz, I flew the TBM 900 from hot start in X-Plane, which is arguably the most study level GA plane out there. So it's very high regarded. And I did not encounter this much kick in the torque, which I would expect with a TBM 900, right? Super powerful engine as well, very light. So I would expect an even bigger kick there, but no. This Kodiak 100 has the biggest kick of them all from what I've encountered. So if that's accurate or not, I'm not so sure, but it is the most challenging that I've flown in the sim. Well, I haven't flown in real life, so I've flown in the sim. Hey Mo, thanks for following. I'm sure you have different ideas, but yes, feel free to share them here. I'm sure you will. Yes, but yeah, we've flown the TBM 900 in X-Plane. I'm not sure if you've flown X-Plane before. But yes, it is highly regarded, and I definitely agree with that sentiment. When I flew it before, I was like, wow, so this is how a real plane should feel like in the sim. But yeah, I didn't encounter that huge kick on the torque, that right rudder trim necessity or criticality. Yes, anyway, we'll get to flying soon, guys. I'm just catching up and trying to blabber on. 3 a.m. no sleep. Hey Kenya, thank you for joining. Appreciate the company. And have I paid VAT? Huh. I'm not sure. I think I ended up paying the base price. I got it from their official site, Simwork Studio, so that's 29.99 euros. I'm not sure there was any increase from that. Fortunately, in the sim you can restart. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's not as scary. I think everyone did, Chrome. I think everyone who flew the Kodiak here in the sim crashed on their first takeoff. I surely did. Crashed on my first landing too, and I'm sure that's not going to be the last one. This is a very, very challenging plane to fly, but that's the fun in it. You load it from the outside, small openings. Ah, I see. Okay, thank you. So it's not really something you access from inside. Okay, makes sense. Thanks for the insight. Outside, you saw it in the video. Okay, cool. With Missionary Bush Pilot. Oh, there's the doors from the cargo pod. Oh yeah, you guys are right. Does his Kodiak 100 have a cargo pod? I think it does, right? Otherwise it would look weird in my eyes. Yeah. Okay, so you cannot see the pod from the inside. Okay, makes sense. You don't do retro sims. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, for me though, to be honest, when X-Plane 12 comes out, I will probably try it out. Because I want to compare. I really want to see what the flight model is all about. Because X-Plane 11 has a very great flight model in my opinion. Everyone's taste is different, but I think for me, ultimately, the flight model is still superior in X-Plane 11. Of course, everyone will have a different opinion on that. So when X-Plane 12 comes, I'll probably try it out. We'll see if we stick there or go back to MSFS, but we're open. Yeah, I'm not closing the doors. Lime green legacy livery. Alright, Larger, I hope the game does not muck it up. But as long as I see a Kodiak, I will know that it's you. You purchased from Contrail because the site was down. Oh yeah, that's the problem. It's a very good problem from their end, but yes, it's still a problem. Because of the huge demand, the site, Simwork Studios, the developer of this plane, their site has been going down a couple of days now. From time to time when the demand goes high enough. So much so that they lose their access to even emails. So I sent a mail to Alex and it took him like a day or so to reply to me. Oftentimes he replies very fast and he told me, sorry, I couldn't reply because our site was down. Our whole domain was down because of the demand. I couldn't even access my emails. So yeah, it's a good problem, but it's still a problem. The kick in MSFS is often exaggerated. Yeah. Yes, definitely agree. See the doors, nice. You didn't crash, you stalled at approach, then crashed. It's a good distinction. We might see it here. Okay, let's try it. A Kodiak in my eye would look odd indeed and hurt. Yes, indeed, good problems to have. Okay, let's get this going. I have Sky Park loaded. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Oh, look at, and by the way, guys, I finally reached 500 hours. Might be a small thing for some, but it is a huge achievement for me. 500 hours in the air, not including the preparation of the flight plans and time on the ground. This is airborne flight hours, and only those where the log worked. And that's not really every time, right? So let's go and load it up. Now, I've been doing jobs in New Zealand. The winds in New Zealand at the moment are insane. I think there's a jet stream in there. Okay, let's see. So we are starting off in Victor Alpha 00 supposedly, but if you look at this strip, there is no taxiway, and I don't want to start in the runway because it would automatically start us with engines on. I want to start cold and dark so we can experience the whole thing. So instead of starting there, we'll start off in a nearby airport. I think I loaded it up already. I think it's Lynchburg right here. Yeah. So Victor Alpha 00 is somewhere nearby. And we'll start instead in Lynchburg though, but so it's a bit more we can start on a taxi. On a ramp. J-ramp rather. Let's start off here. And I'll see you guys in Lynchburg. Kilo Lima Yankee Hotel. Kilo Lima Yankee Hotel. Okay, let's probably put that 1 p.m. so it's bright outside. And let me try and put a co-pilot here. The plane has some quirks. If you want to see the co-pilot model, you have to assign a weight in the beginning here before you load the sim. Otherwise, even if you put weight afterwards, it won't load. It's a bug with the sim, from what I've heard. Good morning, adventure. Sorry for the late response. How are you? How's your Kodiak experience been doing? Merry Christmas, Roy. Hey, thank you for dropping by. It's been a while. Regards to you and your family as well. Merry Christmas, man. Appreciate the company. How are you doing? Don't like the generalization of the flight model. That's a very good point. Yes, that's a very good point. Each sim has its own limits, but ultimately it still depends on the plane, how the plane was made. Yes. CCM made a mod for the Kodiak stall speed. Who is CCM? Sorry. And what did he change? What is the stall speed wrong? What was adjusted for it? Hey, happy birthday, Roy. Oh my goodness, happy birthday. Christmas celebrant. Oh, you must hate that, huh? 2 gifts in one. My brother has a birthday exactly on Christmas Day. So oftentimes it would be a bit in conflict. He would only get 1 gift at most. Alright, let's go and look outside. I see larger right there. Yes, there he is. Nice. Let's see if it's in the lime green livery though in a bit. 9er Victor, India Charlie Lima. Tail number all the way from Singapore. Getting here in the US. Canadian Captain Mustache. Oh, I see. Cool. 60 today. My goodness, the big 6-0. Congrats, man. How are you feeling? That's a huge achievement. Should celebrate. Thank you for celebrating your day with us. Also made a mod for the 110p Banderante. Not... I see. So this is different from... who is the guy? Very famous streamer. Captain Canada? Is that different from Canadian Captain Mustache? Sorry guys, I'm very behind on aviation streams. I often don't get to watch the streams. Let's take a photo there. That looks wonderful. Still working full time. Still run a 23-minute 5K. My goodness, I can't even run that anymore, I think. So props to you, man. My goodness, you are in amazing shape. Props to you for taking care of yourself all these years. I think you deserve a beer for that. Awesome. All right, so how does this work? Let's see. All right, there's our co-pilot. So if we want to remove, we can and bring them back. But you have to load that the first time with. I don't want the feeling of a single pilot here though. It does feel more professional. But what I like here in this plane as well, and some of you guys might have seen this already, they actually even modeled in passengers in here. Let me put this in a different window so you guys can see it in its full glory. There you go. Do that. 1 second, huh? There. So if I put some weights on the different rows, it actually adds passenger models. So custom made passenger models. And this time, because of the variant I chose, it's actually a mix of passenger and cargo, which makes it so cool. I actually did an on-air job with this variant the other day, and it was so cool because it was literally what I was loading in on-air. I had a few passengers, I have 5 passengers, and the rest I filled with cargo, and that's exactly how it looked in the sim. I never got it to that level before. So yeah, the immersion is definitely real. Right, so after that, you can fill it with boxes and whatnot, right? And that just increases the overall immersion. You can even like... Oh, I can't even open the door anymore because of the boxes. Let's remove that. Okay, that looks good. Let's unlock that maybe. Maybe we should have done that before we loaded the stuff in. There you go. Hey Verix, welcome back. How's it been? Thanks for joining. How are you doing? Hey Simple, how's it been, man? Welcome back. Oh, a guide playing during forest fires. That's cool, man. Yeah, maybe you should watch him sometime. Hey, face cake. Just going to call you cake. Can't see me in my livery. What are you seeing? I did see that, Murwas. I was actually approached by the what's the team called? What's the developer's name? They approached me and asked if I wanted to test the X-Plane Bell 47. Unfortunately, I had to refuse because it's been so long since I've tried X-Plane. I think the next time I will try it is in X-Plane 12. Fly inside. Yes, there you go. Thank you. Brain fart. Sorry. Yeah. So it's a great thing that they released it there too. Flies the same in both sims. I would expect that because they use an external flight model, right? They have their own flight model, which is the best one I've seen in a helicopter. Still remember the joy of hand flying that thing. Doing great, Simple. Doing great. Thank you. Where in the Appalachian are you, Felix? Victor Alpha 00, more than halfway there. More than halfway in part 1. Victor Alpha 00. Beltaloda! Hey, Jack. Yar! I watched the first episode. Is the second one out yet? My goodness. The finale. Alright. Currently piloting eggs in Farm Sim. Nice. Glad you're enjoying Farm Sim 22, is it? I would assume. Unfortunately, I still have not played it much. This plane has been taking all my time. Alright, so one thing that I will need to focus on, you can see our center of gravity. This is the first plane where I really see a big difference in the 1 second, guys. I think I'm lagging a bit here. Yeah, hopefully the stream isn't lagging on your end. Yeah, it's a bit behind. Let me refresh that. So the CG limits are very important. Don't go beyond 40, and the more aft you go, the more the center of gravity goes to the back, to the aft of the plane, the more forward trim we need. If we don't do that properly, we will pay for it later on. So it's take note of that, 35% at the moment, 40 is the max. So that definitely requires a lot of forward trim, nose down trim. Installed MSFS again, nice. How is it treating your fancy new CPU? Promise 260, yes I do actually. And I unfortunately didn't have time yet to record anything, but hopefully that will come soon. Yes, we were waiting for the trailer to hit before we can release anything. Put files in 2 different places, 2 installs on your C drive. MSFS being MSFS, huh? Goodness. Alright, still watching season 4. Ah, the itchy green eyes, right, from the alien planet, was it? Alright, that's why weight and balance is the first item on this list, because it is really critical in this plane, and I love how they simulated that. In other planes, you hardly take note of the CG, right? You just load the stuff and make sure it's within the range, and you hardly have to think about it. Here though, you really have to, otherwise it will not be good for anybody. Right, let's start the plane. Master switch is on. You can actually see fingerprints on the screen. I didn't notice that before. Turn on the avionics. Nice boot up sequence and reversionary mode for the G1000 NXI is also here now. Very nice. Parking brake is set. That's this guy right here. That one. Right. You can even have the MFD not go up yet. There it is. In the beginning. 110p. What is the 110p? I don't think I have the plane. I only have 2, right? The Arrow and this one. Good. I really like this. This is very practical. The light goes red when both fuel selectors are off. That means you're in a lot of problems because you don't have fuel. So let's make sure we do have fuel. And that will make the light go away. Very nice, because you normally don't look up like this, right? Unless you're doing it for the checklist. So that light is very useful. Alright, so fuel selectors are on. Engine inlet, we have to put that in bypass when it's 5 degrees or less, something like that. And if there's like risk of foreign object damage, like if there are rocks, if there's grass, there's moisture. So let's put that in bypass. It is cold outside. Firewall fuel shutoff, that's this guy right here. Let's push in. Emergency power lever is normal. This is in up at the moment, unfortunately. Power lever is idle. Propeller controller is in feather mode. Condition lever is in cutoff. And I do have a trick for this, guys. If you want, I can share it. But I found a very nice tweak in the control settings, so this is optimal. I can share that with you later if anyone's interested in that. Just let me know. Flaps are 0 indeed. Circuit breakers. Oh, this is the big trick. Yes. So I'm going to turn off the standby attitude in there. Very powerful tool, customly programmed in this plane, but it really hurts the FPS. Let's go and check out the FPS. Currently, I'm only at 26 FPS. Oh my goodness, that's very low because I'm streaming. But look at this. If I go here, we get 31, right? And if I pull the circuit breaker for the standby attitude, look at this, from 31, 32, and voila. Now we're getting 40. Actually, the 41. Even the increase is not that significant because of the stream. But still, it's a huge increase, right? So I'm just pulling that because the PFD will never fail anyway in this model, so we don't really need the standby. Failures are not modeled in this plane. At least not yet. Right, that looks good. Can do the engine start. You have fingerprints on some of your do not touch garments. Sometimes it's hard to resist, right? Yeah. The banderante. Ah, yes, I don't have it, unfortunately. I see. Good. I hope it's better now. You only get 3 to 4 FPS with the circuit breaker. That probably means that your CPU, your main thread, is powerful enough. Because for me, my CPU is a 3700X. It does not have the best main thread. We talked about this, right? The clock speeds, the IPC count, and whatnot. Doesn't have the best when it comes to that. So I get limited with the main thread very easily. So that really affects me a lot. Because I think right now, this the way they programmed it, this standby attitude indicator is running on the main CPU thread. So it's taking up space along with everything else in the main thread. So if that maxes out, you get lower FPS. They have not put Microsoft has not yet put, or Asobo has not yet put that in a separate thread. That will hopefully come in a separate patch. Good evening, Viper Strike. Thank you for following. VIP Kiwi, thank you for following as well. Sorry, I missed some guys. Jonathan, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream, guys. And Mo, in case I haven't greeted you yet, thank you for joining. They had changed it for because there are different technologies, right? You can create glass panels in different ways. The main glass panels, they were able to do already, but some, not yet. And this is part of that some. And I think it's the same one being used by the DC6. It's not a glass panel, but they do have instruments there. That's why the DC6 still does not have a great FPS. Right now, I think you can go to developer mode. You can enable a certain setting to enable that experimental feature. That will improve FPS, but that might have some nasty consequences. And I believe it will give the same benefit here, the standby attitude. Yeah, it's very tricky. I am not so sure with the technical details as much yet. It did, but they reverted it from what I heard. Yeah, so right now you have to go to the developer mode and turn that setting on to get back that FPS increase. That's what PNDG guys are saying. Alright, anyway, sorry for the delay. Let's go and turn this on. Let's turn on our beacon. Our aux fuel pump. I love the sounds in this plane. Aux fuel pump is indicating on. Looking good. Let's turn on the ignition. Normally, there should be an annunciation here saying ignition on. I'm not sure if that's a conflict with the G1000. Anyway, alright. So let's clear prop, bro. Clear prop, go away. I don't think he'll be going away. So let's go ahead and start. Low motor, the starter. That sound. I'm monitoring the NG. It reaches at least 14%. Put the condition lever in low idle, introduce some fuel. Monitor for hot starts. ITT is rising up. That should stabilize in a bit. NG is now at least 52%. We have a good start here. Looking good right there. That means we can turn off the starter and the ignition. And now we can move the propeller full forward. Go aux fuel pump to standby, turn on the generator. The amperage will spike up a bit and then stabilize, and then we can turn on the alternator. Looking good there. Let's close that. And let's turn on our nav lights, our taxi lights. Looks good. Looking good right there. Alright. And now we can turn on the automatic climate control system. Was it ACCS? By turning on the aux bus right here. That's for the air conditioning basically. Look at that. It's cold outside, so it's still cold, the cabin temperature. Because we just closed the doors, right? The windows. So let's set that to a comfortable 22 degrees. Turn them both on for our passengers. Set that to auto so the fan speeds automatically change depending on how far away those still temperatures are. Heating up the cabin. Pretty nice. Cool. 5906 insane monster. Nice. Yeah. I can imagine. I can only imagine. Victor Alpha 00, that's where we're going. We're just going to be flying over it. Activate. What are the winds like here? Let's go and check. Look at the fan speeds. They changed now. The fan speeds here have lowered. And this one is lowering because we're reaching the stuff here now. The temperature we set. Look at this. If I open the door, that should get colder immediately. Sometimes there's a bug. Let's open this one. There it is. So the cabin is getting colder again because the outside air temperature is seeping in, which is 5 degrees. So it's gotten cold again. So it's maxing out the fans again to bring that temperature back up. So those things, right? Those level of those details, I highly love that. Those are perfect for immersion. Destination is Victor Alpha 00. We'll just be flying over it, buzzing it, just so we can start the Appalachian tour, and then we'll continue on to 96 Whiskey. So Victor Alpha 00, then 96 Whiskey is where we'll be landing in 96 Whiskey right here. So let me plug that in. Little nav map. For those who want to join, you still can. Let's all meet in Victor Alpha 00. Alright, there it is. Brook Hill Farm is the name of that strip. Right now, no winds here, so we can actually use runway 22, which is the longer one. Altimeter 2988. Overcast, 1,500 feet above ground. Not the best for sightseeing. Might have to shoot past that and see how it goes. Anyway, we won't be too strict about it. 2988, I believe, right? 2988. Airport elevation is 938. It's perfect with what we're getting. Awesome. Right. So let's maybe pick it at 5,500 to start with. That should be good enough. Runway 22 is... what's the heading for runway 22? 217 degrees. Alright. Yes, Victor Alpha 00. You got it right. Larger. So Victor Alpha 00 and then 96 Whiskey. 96 Whiskey. Where we're landing is actually 96 Whiskey for this first leg. We'll just be flying over Victor Alpha 00. 217. That's what we wanted here. Looks good. Alright. Hey Cellabones, how's it going? A heist stream. Loading the sled full with gifts and taking off. Yes, I hope so. We'll do that on Friday. Alright. Let's go taxi to the runway. I do have my lights on. Yes. Looking good. Instrument lights. Doing the Christmas event. How many jobs are you in now? I think I'm at 8 out of 15. Still a long way to go for me. Pitot heat is off and it's below, at or below 5 degrees. We have to turn on the pitot heat, and it's nice that they have actually an indication for that. You're at 6. Nice. Enjoy it, man. Looking good. No traffic here at the moment. I'm not sure why I'm getting so poor FPS. But yeah, I don't think I'll enable traffic at the moment because the FPS is not the best at the already. Community unlocked the second gift already. What did we get for the first or second gift? I actually didn't hear about the extra stuff that we could get aside from the personal rewards. Alright, some important things. We do have it started now. We have the avionics. We have the altimeter. You know what I really want? I want the checklist box from Missionary Bush Pilot. I want that here. So we could have a physical virtual checklist, if that makes sense. Alright, let's see. Inertial reel levers. Okay. Let's lock those. Those are mainly for the seat belts. So it's snug. It's always locked. It's for takeoff and landing. Flight controls are free. It's good. Runway is clear here. We'll cross here. Fuel selectors are on. Yes. Firewall is pushed in. We are on low idle at the moment. Fuel quantities are in the middle. Flaps set that for takeoff, which is, there we go, 20 notch, 20 degrees, 2 notches down. Looking good. Trims, yes, the trims, very important thing. Slow down here. So this is one thing I wanted to highlight. So let me stop there so I can highlight this point, because this is a bit of a trial and error, and I'm not really sure how, if there is a science to it. Just have to know, I guess, based on experience. First is the car, then there is 4 more. Oh, are those cabin accessory toys? That's great. I have seen it. Simple. Looks amazing, isn't it? Not sure if Scan did that or someone else, but Promods guys know their stuff for sure. All caught up for this. Awesome, Game Furist. Awesome stuff. Thank you. You watched the video from Monday? It's amazing. Auto trim might be needed to overcome a bug. A bug on what? On takeoff? I think it could do with a bit of tweaking, but I think it works in general. So let's see. There are no winds. We are a tad heavy if you look at our fuel here. The heavier we are, I would expect we would need the right rudder more. Actually, I'm not sure if that statement is correct, but we'll apply around 35 to 50% rudder trim. So over here is the rudder. Over there is the trim, this button, but I have it mapped on my yoke. So here I'm moving the rudder trim. So from 35 to 50%. I believe if you watch Missionary Bush Pilot's videos, he actually puts the rudder trim all the way to the right during takeoff. I have not been able to make that work. It's too much for this plane. So maybe somewhere around there. And as I mentioned, this is not a science. It's more of an art form, I guess. You kind of just feel it. So let me put that somewhere there and it will adjust accordingly, right? And then for the forward trim, this is the important part as well. And I don't really know how to compute this, but the more aft your CG, the closer you are to 40%, the more forward you should do. So you see this white line, this is 0%. When the line is vertical, this is neutral, right? We want forward trim, so nose down. So we put it that way. And I guess that would be a good forward trim in the beginning, right? That should work. And so we have our trim set for takeoff. We have, I don't think the overspeed warning works. Just skip that. Power lever is idle. Let's see what else we need here. Pitot heat, avionics, CDI, annunciations, no warnings, strobes. Let's turn on our strobes. Let's turn on our landing lights. Put it in pulse mode so that people can distinguish us better. And we can get the birds away from us. I think it helps with the birds as well. Birds tend to stay away from planes with pulsing lights. I think that's the theory behind it. And then prop RPM is maxed out, and fuel condition will go to high idle as we line up on the runway. Alright, looks good. Now the important thing is for takeoff, we want to rotate at 65 knots at most. And then climb at around 85 to 95 knots indicated. Okay. Around 35 to 50% larger. But I must say I'm not an expert on it. We'll see if that works. Let's verify we have 20 degrees of flaps. Yes, we do, based on that flap setting right there. Oh, we're heavy. Oh my goodness, we're heavy. I think this is a bit of an uphill. Low speed takeoff. Watch the no GPS too. Yeah, I think we'll continue with that. The world tour with Arrow for some old school no GPS flying. Certainly has a different vibe to it. My goodness, this is slow. I think let's go to high idle now. Let's to get more of an oomph to line up on the runway. Alright, here we are. Let's line up here. Now I do want to rotate at 65, but I find it very hard. I oftentimes rotate at around 75 knots instead. I've not found the trick to it yet. So we'll see. Let's see, okay. Runway 22. Yes, there's larger. I see you. Oh, I see you in the green livery, I think. Yeah, it works. Nice. Awesome. Flying the Kodi. And the ICAO code for this plane is indeed a Kodi. I thought that was just a nickname. But that's the official ICAO code for the plane from what I've seen. Alright, so the torque, let's push forward. I'm holding the brakes. Push forward to the maximum point before the yellow range. That's going to differ in different environments, so you have to feel it. Alright, let's let go of the brakes. Kicking to the left a bit, so let's apply a bit of right rudder. Just a little. Airspeed's alive. The rudder trim is taking effect. We balance that out. 60 knots, 65, rotate. Beautiful. With a bit off, kick there, and then it will go back in. There it is. Very nice. So at least it did rotate at 65. Nice. It was just not as smooth as what we wanted. But yeah, there is that like crabbing. There's that yawing motion. And I'm not sure if it should be like that, but it works. So we'll take it. Alright? So let's pitch for 85 knots. Let me lower the nose here a bit for 85 knots. Go for flaps 10. As we reach 90 knots, retract the flaps fully. Nice. And now we can climb at around, let's say 98 knots, more or less. And let me adjust the rudder trim here. There we go. Let's pull back on the RPM. You can hear the RPM lowering. Going to 2000 RPM now. It started at 2200. We're now at 2000. There it is. That's 2000 RPM. Very nice. We're going to maintain that all the way until we land. Let's make a right turn here as we clear the clouds. Oh, this is beautiful. My goodness. That is amazing. Let's climb to 5,500. Let's look for larger here. Sorry, larger, just to set your expectations. I won't be as much of a pro streamer as Fabio when it comes to group flights. We'll just have to wing it oftentimes. So, yes, we'll just try and stay close to each other as much as we can. Right, looking good. There's larger. He's taken off already as well. 1,400 feet. Nice. Good job, man. How was your takeoff? How did it look like for you? Alright. Let's follow the flight plan at least though. So at least we have a common ground. Continue climbing to 5,500. Clear these clouds. See larger right there. And as we climb, I have to pay close attention to the rudder trim. Make sure we are actually aligned here. You can see the slip indicator is showing a huge side slip in there. So I have to apply a bit of left rudder. That means that the right rudder I put in was too much. Right. The trim was too much. And I have to constantly look out for that as we climb. That thing you're hearing is right now is the trim. It's nice that it is modeled to actually get that feedback on the sound as you trim the plane. Apply a bit more right rudder. I also like it. This is the first plane I think I've seen where the rudder trim is so significant. When you're climbing, you really need a lot of right rudder trim. And when you level off, you need to remove all of that right rudder trim, or most of it. So you can see here, as we level off at 5,500 feet, you look at the slip indicator. Pay close attention to the slip indicator as we level off. There you go. Look at the slip indicator, guys. It's now going all the way to the left, right? Yeah, so different now. Because now we actually have to remove that right rudder trim. That only applies when you are climbing, because of the angle of attack of the blades and whatnot, P factor, and all those technical things. And that is properly implemented on this plane. I have not been able to, or did not need that as much before in other planes, which is interesting. Alright, let's correct that. I'm going to remove the right rudder trim. You can look at the slip indicator. It's going bit by bit to the middle because I'm applying left rudder trim now. There you go. And now we are coordinated again. Right? Again, you can see the rudder trim is almost to the middle now. So just feeling it. So that that slip indicator is going to be huge for this plane. There we go. Hey, Dipsomnia. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Also, let's pull back on the power. Actually, maybe we don't need to pull back on the power. Just a little, maybe. Right. Anyone on VATSIM at the moment? Oh yeah, that's a good question. I have not checked VATSIM yet. I'm not sure if I would be qualified for VATSIM, especially with this plane that we are still getting to know. But it would be nice to hear some real voices, right? So let me open Volanta on this other screen, or maybe on this screen, depending on where it wants to go. Yeah, it's installing. Installing the update, and let's see who's online. Hear your own voices. You don't need no extra voices. Plugin not installed. Maybe there's a new plugin for Volanta that I need to install. I see. Okay. It looks like there is a controller though. Yeah, DC Center is online. Nice. Let me have a look at the airspaces, because if we can clear if we can stay VFR, we can probably join VATSIM and not need to actually talk to a controller. Just so my workload will not be too much. Right. Otherwise, I'll have to use the autopilot, and Murwas might leave. 1 second, let's open this up. Okay, let me put in little nav map here, or here. There it is. Make sure we're flying level. We trim the plane. VFR flight following, we can do that too, or we can just go fly VFR without flight following. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, looks like airspace wise, we don't really have a lot of airspaces that we will be crossing over. Yes, that's great. That's great to hear. Let's go and overlay the VFR sectionals here for even better visibility. Where are we right now? So we're here right now. Yes, that's Class Echo, I believe, right? This border right there. Class Echo airspace, so we don't really need permission from ATC to cross that if we're flying VFR. So we can fly VFR, I think. Yeah. We can try and connect around the air. Let's try that. So let me do something, just so I won't have to constantly adjust my settings here. Let's turn on the flight director. Let's go ahead and go to nav mode. Let's capture that selected altitude. Hey, breeze wind. Hey, Nathan. Thanks for joining. How's it going, man? Looking forward to trying out Pro Mods 260. Now that the trailer is out, we can show some stuff, right? You also enjoy a low workload. Just sit here and basically do nothing. Tempting, that's tempting. Now, why is the flight director that way? Let's do that again. Nav. Alright, let's go VS down. There we go. Altitude select. Let's follow the flight director in. Get it as close as possible. And then, when we're right there, let's turn on the autopilot and the yaw damper as well. I actually could have enabled the yaw damper already, even without the autopilot. And now that we are relatively clear of moisture, I guess I should be able to just go to normal mode. Oh, one thing I forgot. Altitude reporting on the squawk. We are flying in the Appalachians here in the US, near the eastern side. Don't think we can call it East Coast yet. Why is the little panel on the left turned off? Yes, Jerry. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream. I am turning it off purposely by pulling the circuit breaker over here because it adds around 10 to 15 FPS for me. My CPU is not fast enough to handle that very well, so I turn it off to get an increased boost in FPS. Alright, so we're level off here now. We do still have a bit of side slip in there, so looks like a little bit more left rudder trim. Just bit by bit, one by one. There we go. That would allow the plane to fly in a more coordinated manner. That means it's not wasting any energy. That means at the end of the day, we'll be able to fly faster if we are flying coordinated. Yeah, that little screen is 15 FPS. Yes. Because it is so complexly done. This standby attitude indicator. So many things you can program. But because of that complexity, it loads up a lot, and the way the sim handles it at the moment, I think it does load it on the main thread. It's not on a separate thread, so it takes up space that are otherwise supposedly on the main thread. So it limits the FPS quite a bit. Not yet optimized. Tempting, Murwas, tempting. Alright, let's see. Maybe I can join VATSIM. Let's see. Let me turn off track IR here for a bit. DC center. Although it might be a bit noisy. I'm having second thoughts if I should. What do you guys think? Do you want to hear VATSIM? It might not be brave enough to talk yet though. Again, we'll see. We can enable it, but it might get a bit more rowdy in the stream. Lots of people talking and whatnot. If you guys are okay with that, we can go and enable it. Only if it's PG, I hope so too. I hope so too. But I've been watching my videos for a long time. Ah, that's great to hear, man. Thanks, Jerry. Yes, I actually released a video on this. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet in my YouTube page. I released a video on this 2 days ago. It has a couple of tips. Some people seem to like it. Some people seem to learn a lot from it. So hopefully it will benefit you too. That fan noise is in the game, yes. So we can lower the fan noise, I think, by lowering this one. Yeah, so we can do that. So we can hear more of the engine. Yeah, landing in this airstrip with this weather, probably not the best condition. We do have winter trees now. I switched to winter with the 4 seasons mod, so we get those brownish dried trees. Very nice. Okay, let me program in the next Airport 96 Whiskey. What we can do is actually, let me see if we can resume. Yes, we can. That's nice. Resume the trip, and now we can go direct to 96 Whiskey. 96 Whiskey. That is Eccles? Yes. 1,778 foot elevation, 1732 foot runway or airstrip maybe. Okay, let's go direct. Appalachian Tour is more suitable for the PC6, much easier because of the short takeoffs and landings. Well, this plane should be able to handle that too, but yeah, this plane does not have the beta descent that the PC6 has. That's very true. That's something it has going for it. Let's have a look outside. Let's see if we can spot larger. The speed, the Kodiak is a lot of fun in Idaho. Hey, do you guys know? Because it seems like this is an Idaho plane. That's the Idaho map from what I've gathered, right? Built by hand in Sandpoint, Idaho. Very nice. Speedy for landing. Oh yeah, there's larger. Let's slow down a bit here so larger can catch up and we can be a bit more side by side, because if we're the same speeds, then probably he won't be able to catch up with me if we're the same plane. That's where you come from, Cellabones. Wow, cool. Yeah, we're not landing here, larger, so no need to oh, you mean for the next airport, for 96 Whiskey? Not sure. It seems like we are getting a tailwind. Yes. It seems that it's going to be that way still over there. So probably we'll be using runway 23. Yeah. Let's go for a runway 23 approach. I'll program that in the G1000 as we get closer. You're on 1680 torque. Okay. I'm currently on 1000, so I'm slowing down a lot here. 132. Let's have you catch up, and when we're side by side, then I can speed it up again. I think that's just okay. Yeah, that's okay. And while that's happening, I think instead of listening to Vatsin, what we can do instead is focus on this beautiful thing right here. The pilot operating handbook that I saw. Oh my goodness. I learned a couple of things from it already. This is the official POH with the signatures and everything, as official as it gets. This is not from the SimWorks Studios, who is the developer of this plane in the sim. This is from the real plane I got from Google. So you can see the signatures and everything, the revisions and approvals, as official as it gets. And the thing that I really like is the cruise. Well, there are several things that give you additional context, like the checklist here. It gives a bit more context on why you have to do certain things you need to do. Let me show you that one. And this is nice. I think before takeoff, this one. This one. So for normal takeoff, you set your flaps to 20, and then the elevator trim you recheck set for takeoff. Why would you need to recheck the trim when you set it? Because in this plane, there is what they call the flap trim compensation unit that automatically changes the trim when you set your flaps, right? So that you would maintain the same. Why is there like a mountain in there? 1 second, let me change this to relative, make sure we're not crashing into anything. Okay, looking good. So oh, you didn't see what I did, huh? Anyway, we're not crashing into anything, so that's good. So yes, we recheck set for takeoff because there's a flap trim compensation unit, which basically when you set your flaps, the trim automatically changes so that you maintain the same attitude Because normally when you set flaps, right, when you lower your flaps, the normal tendency of the plane is it kind of pitches up, right? It changes the attitude. So that compensation unit automatically adjusts so that you keep your same attitude as much as possible, even if you set flaps. But when you're on the ground and that happens, it will not be good because you already set your trim for takeoff. When you set your flaps, it will change the trim. Now, normally that shouldn't happen. It should be disabled on the ground. But if you have more than 35 knots of winds, right, pretty strong winds, that compensation unit might enable itself because it's based on airspeed, and that might happen. So that's why you set your flaps and then recheck that your trims are still okay. So that's why this context, you don't get that in the normal like simulator manuals. But it's very nice to learn these things, right? Getting that idea, why do I need to check it again? I checked it a while ago already. Why the need for this redundancy? So those things I really like to read on these manuals. But yes, I was looking for a cruise table, and I believe the plane should be very close to this one. Performance, okay. Let me just load it up and I'll catch back with chat. And then we'll see. Maximum engine torque. 1 second, guys. Cruise performance. There we go. What's our current altitude? Let's say pressure altitude 4,000. 6,000. Okay, let's do that. Catch up. Error 404. Page not found. Have you read this cover to cover? No, I just loaded it a few minutes before the stream started. I just found it a few minutes. It's 400 pages. Yeah, 404. Yes. Now I get what you mean. Yeah. The breeze when the flaps I think are implemented. Yeah, I see the trim changing automatically when I set the flaps. You know what? Let's try it. So I'm in within safe flap extension speed. We are in 130 knots. 138 is the maximum. So we have this, right? If I set flaps to 10, look at this trim wheel. You see the change? Right? It's like snaps a bit and then adjusts accordingly. That's what I think happens. Let's double check that that's not just the autopilot. Let's see. Turn off the autopilot in here. Okay. So that doesn't change anymore. If I've set flaps to 10, see it changed? Yeah, so it is there. Even without the autopilot, there is the flap trim compensation unit. Alright. But yes, that should be off when you're on the ground. Let's see. How's Larger doing? Getting closer. I still have my landing lights pulsing, I think. And of course you didn't see that because the PDF was in the way. Sorry about that. I really have to get used to that more. Okay, outside air temperature is 3 degrees. So let's put that here on maybe 2,000 RPM, torque, pounds per foot. Let's say 1,000 over here. Fuel flow should be around 261 or 258. How is that looking in the sim? 1,000. Hey, that's not bad. 261 to 258. We're at 240. Pretty close. And then if you look at the airspeed, should be around 143, 145 true airspeed. Oh, look at that. Right by the numbers. 143 to 145. We are at 144 true airspeed. That is amazing. Oh, cool. Okay. Yes. Trim changes, but so did the attitude. Yeah, I think it lessens the impact, but it doesn't totally remove it. In the real plane, I'm not sure if it should not move at all. Yeah. So I actually don't like that system. I want to adjust the trim myself, but it is still there. Yeah. Maybe not as well implemented as in real life, huh? Okay, let's go for a runway 2-3 approach. Can we even land with this weather? We might just see it. I see the strip. Is it that one? Oh my goodness. It's a bit hard to spot. No, it's still in front of us. I think it's this one. Somewhere here. I think it's that one. There. Oh my goodness. It's somewhere here. Supposedly. Or maybe that one. Oh my. Oh no, it's that one. Yeah, for sure it's that one. Okay, so we do have visibility of that airstrip itself. Yeah, we're landing in field. Props for them for trying. Yeah, it's a good try, huh? But yes, that's a good point. It's not really maybe functional enough at the moment. All right, let's go for a visual 2-3 approach. Straight in landing. Let's go and activate that. Okay. Alright, so we'll do some kind of like, what do you call that? Like a parallel entry. A parallel course reversal. I wish a teardrop would have been better, I think, but okay, fine. Whiskey 96 whiskey 96 whiskey is where we're landing. Yeah. Alright, let's see. The final approach course is, let's put it that way right here. And yes, I'll use the autopilot in this case because we are in IMC. And I think I'll be needing all the help I can get. So let's double check. Pulse lights are on. Let's turn on the taxi lights as well. Bypass, actually we should be on bypass mode because we do have lots of clouds. We're going through lots of clouds. We'll be going through mountains and stuff. We'll see if this weather is actually applicable for this kind of flying. We should actually have descended already, but I'm in altitude mode, which is bad. So now we'll have to catch up. Let's go VS it down. And then go arm the VNAV mode. Let's get as low as 1000. Let's go 2000 feet maybe. There it is. Okay. Now why is my plane... Okay, there it is. So it's going to follow exactly the magenta line there. Exact curve. That is amazing for the G1000 NXI. Okay. So slow it down even more. Beautiful. You kind of see below just a bit, but yeah, the clouds are not really making this easy. Steepen the approach a bit. Curve on point, yeah. Look at how much it's matching that. That is amazing. Goodness. And look at how the mountains are starting to creep up on us. Let's go and turn on the legend here. Green is 2,000 feet above. Okay, so that's still plenty of space enough. If we see a red right in front of us, then it's time to get crazy. It's time to get nervous. Alright. Looking good. Hey pitcher, how's it been? Long time no see. Happy holidays to you, man. That green is creeping up on us pretty fast. Let's do our gumps check already. Gas, we have fuel selectors on. The firewall is shut in. And we have our condition lever in high idle. Under carriage, we have the gears always down, thankfully. Flaps are still up though. So let's start extending that, slowing ourselves down. Looking good. Mixture, yes, our condition lever is an idle. Props, let's go full forward on the propeller. We're below 120 knots now. Flaps going to 20. Looking good. Let's arm the approach here as well. Looking good there. And we're now below 108 knots speed checks. So let's go for full flaps as we do our approach. Now VREF is a bit murky. But let's approach at around 80-85 knots in the beginning. Definitely understand, Pitcher. Appreciate the effort, man. Thanks for dropping by. How's it been? What have you been busy with these days? Okay, looking good. .78 knots. Still descending ever so slightly. Let's see how this works. We did arm the approach, so we see the oh, there it is. Now we're seeing it clearer. There's the glide path that it made for us. Once that crosses, then the glide path should get armed, should be active rather. Farming some stuff in World of Warcraft, nice, and trucking in ATS. Are you doing the Christmas event? Myself, I have been mostly in truck sim and flight sim for the channel. But yes, it's been great, man. It's been great. Offline, playing a bit of Diablo 2. Played that resurrected version. Right, that looks good. We do have a hill right in front of us. I hope that's not going to be a problem. There's larger right in front of us. 2,000 feet up, starting his descent as well. There it is. Glide path is armed. Nice. Glide path is active. And as that diamond starts descending, we should be well on our way. There's larger. That does not look good, does it? I hope there's not a hill in front of us, because this visual approach from the G1000 does not take into account any obstacle clearance. So if there's a hill right in front of you, it won't know. It will just plan a 3-degree descent from what I know. So if this is working, we will see. Actually don't see it. Oh, it's here already. My goodness. Yeah. That's one of the problems in this autopilot. The trim resets itself. There it is. Oh crap. Probably not what you want to hear from your pilot. Reverse. Hard braking. We made it. We made it. Switch to low idle. Oh my goodness. What you have seen there when I turned off the autopilot and the plane suddenly nosed down, that is a known bug, because it seems like the trim you set, the trim you have before the autopilot is enabled is remembered by the sim, and when you remove your autopilot, it reverts to that trim. The problem is that trim you have before you turned on the autopilot is way above, right? Way different than how it looks from when you're doing your approach. So when I turned off the autopilot, it suddenly pitched down like that. So you have to be able to catch that. Man, that was tough. That was terrifying indeed, yeah. So I should have disabled autopilot sooner, so I was not subjected to that scary stuff with the changing trim all of a sudden. Alright, let's go in the step aside here so Larger can make a proper landing. Yeah, the visibility is not great either. But we made it, guys. We made it. Let's see. Let's hope that Sky Park detected that. Did it? Yes. Next up is Victor Alpha 903. Yeah, maybe we should change our weather here. I don't know. Because it's not the best for sightseeing. But I do like flying in live weather. Just for the thrill of it. There's Larger. I think he's going around. Is he? Oh, he's continuing. He's continuing. There he is. Oh, there he is. Oh, it bounced. Oh no. Yeah, it's difficult. It's challenging. Oh my goodness. I think he's somewhere in the woods. Good try though, good try. I almost didn't make it either. Oh my goodness, that was tough. But yeah, that's the fun in these approaches, right? That's the fun here. Whew, goodness. I think the passengers all want to get off board now. Larger than... oh my goodness, that was a tough one, Larger, wasn't it? That was very tricky. Alright, let's go for a direct to... what's the next one? Victor Alpha 903. Victor Alpha 903. Ayers or Ayers. Let's activate that. Looks good. Oh, it's something I forget. We actually need the aux fuel pump on when we are doing a takeoff and landing. That's something I still have to get used to. Just a tad too fast, yeah. Never getting on a plane again. Yeah, normally it's a lot more civil than this. Oh, there he is. See? He made it in one piece. The toughest plane ever. Good. But yeah, we don't really have winds here, so we can take off either way. But yes, this will be a good test for the short takeoff capabilities. It is a 1,700 foot runway. It should be more than enough for this plane. From what I've heard, this plane, at least in real life, can take off as short as 300 feet. It only needs 300 foot runway to take off. I think that's without any load though, and probably minimal fuel, but that's the shortest. I think realistically 600 feet is more than enough. So we should be okay here. But we'll see. We'll see, right? We'll see. Alright, so let's go ahead and let Larger go, and then we will go and line up as well. So we're going Larger for Victor Alpha 903. That's the next airstrip to the northeast, 42 miles from here. Victor Alpha 903. Good. Let's go and line up the runway. The heading bug rather. 234. 234. Okay, 234 it is. Just a bit off. That looks good. Hey, where is he? Did he take off already? Did we miss him? Oh, CTD. Dang it. Oh man, that sucks. Alright, see you soon, man. See you soon. Thank you. Goodness, alright, let's set our things up. Let's make sure we have our forward trim in there, right? Let's make sure we have our rudder trim. So let's double check. Let's go and apply a bit of rudder trim, maybe around that point. And let's do our gumps check again. Gas. We have fuel selectors on. Yes. We have, and with gas, we need the aux fuel pump on. Right, let's taxi to the runway here. I like it. The whine from the aux fuel pump actually goes up as well when you push on the throttle. That's very nice. Attention to detail. So gas is checked, undercarriage. Yes, we have our gear. Flaps are not set though. Let's go set flaps to 20 and let's verify. Yes, that is 20 on both sides. Looks good. Mixture, not yet. So let's go and go to high idle. Props is full forward. Switches, yes, landing lights are in pulse mode now. And we have the engine bypass, engine inlet bypass. Pitot heats are on. Switches are looking good there. Right. Let's go and line up. Take as much of the runway as we need. Right, there it is. Ooh, pretty sharp turn. It's not consumed more than we need though. Like so. Okay, good. Nearly drowned, no joke. Stream still going. We fell asleep with that kind of landing. Oh my goodness, props to you. Let's go 5-5 again. Alright, let's do this, guys. Using the brakes. Keep it center line. Bit of right rudder. Airspeed's alive, bit bumpy. Ooh, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, is that enough? That is barely enough. And yes, that huge left turning tendency. So the torque and the P factor and all the other tendencies. And we're still not out of the woods. Let's pitch for 73 knots for obstacle clearance. Look at that. Yeah. Alright, looking good. Put the nose down a bit. 85 knots. Track flaps. 90 knots. Track flaps. Continue climbing. Because there is a huge mountain in front of us. You probably don't want this here. Too much downward trim. It could be. It could be. But the airspeed itself was not as accelerating as much as I would have hoped. Alright, let's go and clean up the plane before we turn. Let's go ahead and turn off our aux fuel pump. Put that in standby mode. Alright, let's go ahead and forgetting things. Let's go and turn off our landing lights. Still in bypass mode because we still have some clouds here. This one we can also remove the inertia lock. And what else? Pull back on the throttle a bit. We're good on the temperature though, so that's fine. We're climbing well enough here, but what we want to do is pull back on the RPM. Lower that RPM to 2000. That's more ideal for a climb. I'll get back to chat in a bit, guys. Just a tad busy. 2030 on the RPM. Let's lower it bit by bit. 2000, there it is. Alright, looking good. And let's continue our climb. Now we can make our turn. Should be safe. The flash of red on the screen keeps you awake for sure. Keeps you awake for sure. Yeah, it's relative terrain. That means the terrain is 500 foot or lower near us. Yeah, the clouds are clearing here in this area, so that's good. 5,500 looks to be a good altitude. Just keep it that way. Almost reaching it already. The inertial lock is this one. Right? That just like locks in the seatbelt. You know how it is with the seatbelt in the car? Normally it's loose, right? But when you snap it fast, it locks itself because of the inertia. So the inertial lock, I think what it does is it always keeps it locked. So you don't need the fast movement for it to lock. It always locks. And that's going to be perfect for takeoff and landing. So you're really strapped in place. Alright. Let's go and pitch up. No, actually, we don't need to pitch up. We're at 5,500 already. What I need to do is release that right rudder trim because we are side slipping here and not flying optimally. So we're not flying as fast as we can, as optimal as we can. Release that left rudder trim. There we go. Now that's more like it. Let's go ahead and trim it out. 5,500. It could be, yes, that's a good point, Breezewind. That's a very good point. The bypass does lessen the power of the engine. Right, so maybe you should turn that off next time, although in real life that would mean you're more prone to foreign object damage, stones, grass, and other foreign objects getting into the engine and destroying it. So for taking off in airstrips, I would assume they would always have it on. So I guess it just really requires a bit more runway length in that case. Yeah. It's a bit tricky, huh? You either don't have enough power, or you do have enough power but you risk destroying your engine totally. Eee. Bush pilots are... man, these guys are good. Let's go away and just go do some visual flying here. So maybe, 5,500 should be okay. Let me lower down there. Let's just try and avoid clouds on the way. The harness lock. I think it's the same, isn't it? You know what? To be honest, Larger, I'm not sure if it's a difference because I don't see a reference of... I don't see a reference of the harness lock in here. Yeah, there's only the inertia reel lever. So I thought it's that one. When I googled this term inertial reel lever, it seemed like this part here. So I think it is the same. Yeah, I think. But feel free to fact check me on that one. Clumsy wagon, you're clear for landing. Stand by. Responding to chat. Yes, the professional streamer. Ah, yes, the inertial separator is the engine bypass. Engine inlet bypass. So many different terms, right? So confusing. So this is the inertial separator, which we can now go back to normal because we are clear of clouds. I do want to see if we speed up. Because normally what I would expect is that torque should increase when we go to normal. So let's try it out. So we're at around 1580 torque here, right? When we turn on the bypass, is that lower? It should lower, but it doesn't. Still at 1580. Let's wait for the engine inlet to go to bypass. It can take up to around 1 minute, I think. Oh yeah, it does seem like it's lowering bit by bit. Yeah, we're now in bypass mode. We lost like 80 foot-pounds of torque there. So I think it does work, just a little bit. It's not as dramatic as the TBM, which I think the inertial separator in the TBM, I think, changes torque like 200 foot-pounds or something. But yeah, this one is, I think, it's less than 100 difference. Okay, let's go back to normal. So it does increase power. Or it does decrease power when you have it on bypass. It's true. Sure thing, Muraz. When do we use bypass? That's a good question. From what I've seen in the POH, we turn it on when it's cold, so less than 5 degrees Celsius outside. You turn it on when there is visible moisture, when you're going through clouds, right? You turn it on when you're on the ground, when you have when there are lots of clutters outside, like rocks, grass. So basically when you're on an airstrip, probably, because that risks those rocks tumbling and getting into the intake, so you want to minimize the risk that goes into your engine. So you have the bypass on so that it would bounce out and not get sucked in to the engine itself. That's the hope. But yeah, it does make the power suffer a bit in the process. That's more like it. Yeah, hand flying this plane is such an experience. I have not needed as much adjustment on the rudder trim as I have in other planes. And that includes the TBM 900 in X-Plane. Let's go a bit of left rudder trim. Yeah, before you mainly focus on the yoke, right? Making sure you're banking the right way, making sure your roll, your pitch is correct. But the yaw is not looked at as much. Maybe at most you step on the pedals when you're turning for adverse yaw compensation. But the trim, it's almost never touched before. Because most of the flight models are, I would say, simplified in that aspect. But here in the Kodiak 100 from Simworks Studios, they are not really playing around. They're not going easy mode on anything. So, yeah, that's why we're seeing all these things. There was someone who was looking into the files, and they compared the yawing tendencies, I guess you could call it, the yawing tendency of this plane, the Kodiak 100, versus the yawing tendency of the PC6. I'm not sure if that was Asobo PC6 or Milvis PC6, one of those. But the yawing tendencies of the Kodiak 100 was more, so it was higher by a factor of 10, I think. So imagine the yaw variable, let's say, for the PC6 was 0.68, let's say something like that. For this plane, it was 6.8. So that really requires you to do a lot of trimming on the rudder. If that is correct or not, I'm not in a position to say, but that's how they did it. And it seems like it is correct from the tester's point of view. So I would trust their judgments on that, because they do have testers who are real pilots. I think have real life experience on the Kodiak 100. And if they say it's right, then I'm inclined to believe them. But yeah, I leave that to the experts and I adjust whatever they give. But yes, it's been a great experience overall. So much more stuff to worry about. Why do we want to worry about so much stuff anyway? Yeah, it's an interesting topic in there. Okay, so many clouds here. This almost feels like Papua New Guinea, right? With the clouds from what Missionary Bush Pilot is flying through. He often goes around clouds like this, looking for that gap in the clouds. So let's try and do the same. You change the value to 2.4 for yourself. Ah, yeah, that makes perfect sense, man. That makes perfect sense. Yes. Yeah, without pedals, it's a lot more tricky. If you have to use like the twist of the joystick, if you have that, that's pretty tricky. Yeah, some people are wondering if there was a typo maybe. Maybe it was supposedly 0.68, let's say, instead of 6.8. But and some people raised that in the Simworks Studios Discord, but they have not really responded to that. So I think it's by design. Either it's by design or they're testing it further. But yeah, they have not really confirmed or denied that feature is as intended. But this is what we have. This is what we work with. So let's adjust to it. And I like it so far. But it does make it so hard for a go-around. I think let's practice a go-around. That will give me an excuse as well. On this next approach, let's practice a go-around. I know from Missionary Bush Pilot, in their company, they are required to practice a go-around at least once every few months. Someone here might know the exact number. But it's a very good practice, I would say, because it really keeps you on your toes. It makes you know the procedure, right? Familiar with the procedure for a go-around, so you don't hesitate. When you have to go around, you go around. And if you don't know, if you're not familiar with the procedures, then you're likely to skip it like me. So for me personally, I need more go-arounds. I should never hesitate. Safety first, right? Default Caravan has 2.0 and it defaults to 1.0. Ah, I see. Yeah, very interesting. I wonder what it should be. Sorry to hear that, Larger. But thank you for flying with me. Appreciate the company, man. Yes, hope you fix those problems eventually. And yes, enjoy your tour. I'll be looking forward to your photos in Discord. Yes, that is the main side effect. Taxing uphill with a huge yaw parameter. What is it called officially, Breezewind? There is that when you start from zero, like stationary, and try to go uphill, this plane will not be able to do it. Your plane will turn to the left and you will not be able to counter it. Simmerk Studios has acknowledged that, but it is not a bug, it is a limitation on the sim, because they explained that the nose wheel does not have enough, and pardon me because I don't know the technical terms, I think they call it static friction. Basically, the nose wheel has no effect during those cases, so the pull of the engine to the left, the pull of the plane to the left cannot be counteracted by the nose wheel when you're going uphill. So you're veering off to the left, but you're trying to make your nose wheel turn right. It doesn't get recognized, and that is something that the sim has to adjust to, because that's currently a bug in the sim itself. The only way SimWorks Studios can remove that tendency is by removing the left turning tendency altogether, which is not what they want, because this is one of the main features of this plane, right? The realistic left turn tendency. So they have to live with that limitation at the moment. The only workaround for it is if you're approaching those uphills, do a running start. Don't start from zero in an uphill. Maybe go back a bit, get some speed, because when you get some speed in, then the nose wheel works. But if you're starting from zero, the nose wheel is still ineffective when you're stationary. It only becomes effective when you're starting to move. I think that's the main thing. My goodness, the airport should be somewhere here, but I have zero visibility. Let's try and go around and see if we can spot it from a certain angle, and then let's plan the approach. The winds here are from 212, so it looks like a runway 21, 22, 23. Should be perfect, same with the previous runway, but let's try and go around for it a bit. Let's be a bit more responsible about this time. Let's try and plan it before we shoot an approach. Stay here at 5,500 where it's safe. So help me out, guys. Try and spot it for me too. It should be right there based on the distance. Should be right there. My goodness, that is so hard to see. It is a grass airstrip. That makes it even harder to spot. There's a town here. I believe that is... Actually, I'm not sure what that is. But that is Eccles Field where we're landing. Not sure I see it, to be honest. Not sure I see it. Let's go around a bit more. It's the P factor. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. The P factor is the main ingredient to that left turning tendency, especially when you have a very high angle of attack. And if I understand the explanation, it's because of the difference of the pitch of the blade, the top of the propeller. So this is the propeller, right? We can't see it, but it's spinning that way. Or no, it's spinning that way. 1 second. From the cockpit, it should be spinning clockwise. So I think it's spinning this way, is it? I'm confused now. I think so. But yeah, the top of the propeller versus the bottom of the propeller. And one is going up, one is going down, right? And when you have a high angle of attack, that difference in the bite of the air gets significant. So that tendency is causing it to go to the left. I think it's going this way. Might be, right? Because if the top of the propeller here moves that way and bites off a bigger air than the one from the bottom going up like this, then your plane has a tendency to go left because they're not balanced. Something like that, maybe? It's too complex for me to understand at the moment. I'll have to read more about it. Yeah, something along those lines, and this plane is able to portray that perfectly. Well, I would say more significantly. I'm not sure if it's accurate to real life, but it's believable enough for me as a sim pilot. Hey, Larger is back! How are you doing, Larger? How did you manage to fly? Okay, let's maybe do one more look around here. Actually managed to climb up a bit. So we go back down to, no, actually, you know what? No, let's stay at 6,000 feet. Bird's eye view. The higher we are, the better the vantage point, the easier we can spot it. So that distance is saying we are 5 miles away from the airstrip. 5 miles from this distance is what? Around that point, maybe? I have a very hard time judging the distances. Should be 5 miles to our 10 o'clock, so somewhere there. Maybe it's that one. I think it's that one, guys. I think I see it. Yeah. That looks like an airstrip to me. How about you? On top of that hill, looks like an airstrip to me. And if there is a runway 23 there, 0523, then that should be it. Yes, I'm sure that's it. Okay, we have visual of it. It is clear of the clouds. 1 second. Yeah, and runway 23 looks perfect because it's clear from this angle, right? From runway 05. Yeah, from the other side it's fully covered by clouds, but from this side where we are, approaching this way, it's perfect. So runway 23 looks like a perfect approach. Let's do it. Visual approach, runway 23. Let's execute that. So let's go for procedures. Select approach. Not that one here. Select approach. Visual. 1 second. No, it's 19. I'm looking at the wrong airport. Oh my goodness. I'm not so sure now if I saw the right airport. But okay, let's go for visual 19. Let's hope that I saw the right one. So I was looking at the wrong thing in the map, but I was looking at the right thing outside my window, at least. Goodness, look at how beautiful that turn is from the G1000. Right. Let's go to idle. Start descending. Start losing that airspeed. Maybe we can spot it from here. Should be on our left. It's not descend too fast though. See anything, guys? I lost it again. We should be on the downwind leg now, almost. Somewhere there, supposedly. Right. One notch of flaps. Let's do a gumps check here. Gas. Fuel selectors are on. Shutoff is in. Aux fuel pump is on. Undercarriage, we have gear is down. Flaps. Let's go full flaps here. We are in the safe speeds. Mixture, we have high idle, props, go to full props, switches, let's turn on our landing lights. Let's go to bypass mode. Alright, looking good. Let's get some power in here. I do hear something. Is larger near us? I do hear like another engine nearby. Okay. See if we can descend properly here. Yes, we have mountain. Looks like the right strip. I hope it's the one we saw. Yeah, we'll see soon enough. So let's clear this one. Start trimming here. So we're like on an extended, or like on a left base. Good. Continue descending. We're still pretty high actually. Trying to get the visual of the runway. I kind of see it. Maybe after we crest that hill, I think. Maybe it's somewhere here. We'll see. Turn a bit more. But yes, this is good, so we have as much time as we need. Go as slow as we can, so we have as much time as we need to adjust and find the airstrip. Gas, let's do our checks again. Gas, good. Undercarriage, full flaps, gears down. Mixture, yes. High idle, condition lever. Props are full forward. Switches are, we are in bypass mode. We have pulse lights on. Looks good. Okay. Right. We are pretty high here though. Okay. Left base turning final. I think that's the one. Okay, let's see. My goodness, no. Stop descending. Because there is a mountain right in front of us and this is not going to be friendly. Right. I think the clouds have been moving and now we are, the strip itself is covered. Dang it. But it should be that one in front, I believe. Should be... Oh crap, where is it, guys? Where is it? Should be 3 miles in front of us. Should be very close to it. Let's continue descending here. I am hearing winds. We have 15 knot headwind. Winds are pretty strong. Still planning to go. Oh, that's a good point. That is a very good point, game viewers. Let's do it. Let's do it. So let's try and plan. Let's get as close as possible and then let's do a go around. Anyway, I think we will need to do a go around because I have absolutely no visual of the runway. Yes, that's a good point. So how do we do a go around? It should be power for takeoff, so full, not really full forward, but within safe torque levels, right? Forward, and then we pitch up for 73 knots, I believe, flaps to 20, and then depending on the horizon, we'll want to turn left or right or just go straight. That should be okay. Here it is, I think. Yes, here it is. Here's the airstrip. Is that the one? No, that's not it. Can't be it. Let's try and see where it is. Oh, here it is. It's a bit sneaky. Okay. That's the one, guys. Oh, yeah. That's the one. Okay. Okay, we have visual. Nice. That's good. Alright, let's do a go around. Let's get closer and let's do a go around afterwards. Okay. So let's see. We're not stable enough. It's not good. Let's do a go around. Pushing forward on the throttle. Pitch for 73 knots to clear any obstacles. Flaps to 20. That's too high. Too high. Oh my goodness, that torque. Yeah, that torque is really pushing me away. We need a lot of right rudder here. I'm not doing rudder trim, rather I'm stepping on the right pedal as much as I can. Right? Pitch for 73. Looking good. There is a hill right in front of us based on the MFD, so let me try and go away from that thing. But yes, this looks better. Alright, let's pitch for 85 knots so I can retract my flaps. There it is. Flaps to 10. 90 knots. Flaps up. Alright, now we can climb up again. Yeah, the go arounds in this plane is very difficult because of that left turning tendency. The moment you put your power forward, you push forward on the throttle and then you pitch up, that left turning tendency gets huge, so you have to really step on the rudder or apply a lot of rudder trim, and it can catch you off guard if you're not prepared for it, like I was. So or like I was not prepared for it, I should say, to be perfectly clear. Turn off the fuel pump for now. Let's go around, do that thing again. Struggle really translates in the video. That's good. That's good that it's seen. That's good that it's seen very well. It's very tricky. Alright, let's start that approach all over again. But yes, we saw the strip. We did a go around. That looks good. Try that one more time. Let's climb to maybe 4,500. I think that should be enough. Right. And maybe let's turn on our TKS here for both the windshield and the wings, because I read that you should enable your anti-ice, the TKS, before you actually get any icing. So as you enter icing conditions, which we are in, right? Moisture, 4 degrees Celsius, we are in possible icing conditions. Turn that on to prevent icing rather than remove an icing. So let's just turn that off when we are on the ground. Looked like a good approach to me. You have more problem on the elevator trim, almost stalling every takeoff after leaving the ground. What I found is I should apply minimal pulling up instead of pulling it up, like jerking it. I should only apply very small pressure. It doesn't lift off. A little more pressure. Doesn't lift off. A little more pressure. And then eventually it will, the nose wheel will kind of climb, rise up very, very subtly. And then I leave it there. Stop doing anything. And then if needed, I even let go of the forward, the pulling back pressure a bit more. And now I've climbed ridiculously high. My bad. Okay, let's do this approach again. Activate the approach. Can I just say that? There we go. And now it's done. Tuned it again. Very nice. Yeah, with the DC6, I think you need strong hands for that back pressure. I think you need to unlearn that that technique. Okay. Gear. Flaps 10. Let's do a gumps check. Gas. Undercarriage. Still retracting my flaps. Flaps 20. Let's go to full flaps as early as we can. Full flaps. Mixture. Props. Switches. Let's get back to aux fuel pump. Everything else is good. Don't turn off the pitot heat. The TKS, let's turn off. I think it should be fine. Looking good. 83 knots, let's approach at around 80 knots. That should be safe enough. And then let's lower to around 75 as we get closer. Another CTD. Goodness, what is causing that? Could you have maybe like a conflict with the... I'm not sure actually. Could it be a conflict with some mod? I have had CTDs before with the, and I'm not sure if it's because of this plane. Normally when booting up the sim or starting a flight, I get it randomly. I restart it, but after that it's good. I hope I don't jinx it. Let's go for runway 190 heading here, just so I have an indication of what the final is looking like. So we're on a left base here. Let's also get that right rudder trim, counteract the torque, the P factor, and all the left turn tendency goodness. You wanted to program the approach and then boom, CTD. Oh goodness, what is causing that? Do you have Navigraph installed? Could it be a conflict with the default nav data? I'm not sure. Okay, we're descending here now. I can let go of the right rudder. Start descending. Thank you. And now I have to remember pitch for speed and power for the vertical for descent, right? So if I want to slow down, I have to pitch up, and if I want to go lower, I have to pull back on the power. It's going to be very important, especially in these low speeds. Okay. The cloud situation looking different again. What I found is on this plane, you'd want to be higher rather than lower. If you can't be right on point, at least stay higher, because it's so hard to arrest your descent. When you are too low already and you want to arrest your descent, it's so hard because of that additional torque. So better to be higher and then just adjust later on. Yeah, I think it changed, didn't it? Dang it, these clouds. Alright, let's follow the instruments. Don't have visual of the runway just yet. And my goodness, we are looking pretty close to these trees. Oh my goodness, IMC. I can't see. Okay. Alright, start descending again. That definitely looks different now. Maybe we shouldn't have gone around, huh? Looks totally safe. Oh yeah. Looks totally safe. For an eyeless approach maybe. Okay, thankfully we still have our synthetic vision. At least we are not totally blind. Yes, it is starting to be very challenging. Start slowing down. Start aligning with the runway. Still no visibility. Okay, I'm starting to see something in front. I think I see the runway. Where is it, guys? Is it this one? No, that's not the one. You see it? I sure don't. Okay. Where the heck? Oh, there it is. Is it? Oh, there. Oh, tricky. Very tricky because this hill is kind of covering it. Okay, but I think we can manage. This is the problematic part, arresting our descent. Right? See that right? Need for right rudder to adjust. And now we descend here. Okay, I see it. That was tricky. The hill was covering the approach. I should have been higher actually. So yeah, that's an instance where the visual approach is not working. Because I actually need to be descending steeper. There we go. Oh crap, I'm landing a bit late. But I think we're good. This plane has nice stopping power. There we go. Woo. Go to low idle. And we're good. Goodness. That was crazy. Yeah, that hill was in the way. Perfect camouflage. My goodness. Okay. Thankfully this plane has powerful stopping power. Just go reverse. Actually they say you even have to like retract the flaps for better braking. Because I imagine when you retract the flaps, you're less likely to get lift, right? You're less likely to lift off the ground. So that means you are more on the ground. That means more friction on the tires. So more braking effectiveness. I think that's why they advise after you land, after you turn on your reverser and hold the brakes, hard braking, you also retract the flaps. Makes sense. Hey, Ajax, thanks. We made it in one piece. Yeah. Buttering the landing is not the thing here. I think it's rather just arriving in one piece is something we can totally be happy about. Alright, let's go and move to the next one. The next airport is Needwood Farm, Whiskey Victor 21. Hello? Whiskey Victor 21. Needwood Farm indeed. That's the one. Activate. Looks good. Oh yes, that's a good point. These went a little bit of back pressure. I'm not sure how much, because what I'm scared of is it might actually lift the nose wheel and cause a tail strike if you're too fast and you do that. So I think you have to control it a bit. But that will be they have a term for that, right? The stabilizer pitching up like so actually helps with the braking when you pull back on the yoke. That's actually something good that we should try. Thanks for the note. Okay, we have bypass, we have aux fuel pump, taxi lights are on. Let's turn that off later. We have still pulsing lights here. I'm actually not sure what the altimeter here is. Let's have a look. The nearest one is Winchester Regional, which is 58 something miles away. I think around 20 miles away. 2984. Okay, let's see if that works. We can compare that with the airport elevation of 1340. Not perfect, so let's adjust that. 1340 should be around there, so it's a 2986 more likely. Okay, good. Aerodynamic braking, that's the term. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Alright, Let's do the gumps check is very useful in this case because we don't have Ryan's checklist box. So that's the best thing we can have, the gumps check. Gas, we have our fuel selectors on, that's pushed in. We have the aux fuel pump is on. Undercarriage, we have the gear down. Flaps for takeoff, right? Mixture, let's go to high idle. Props, we have full forward. Switches, we have landing lights. Landing lights. We have the bypass on. Let's turn off our taxi lights now. It's bright anyway. And let's taxi to the beginning of the runway. DCS style. You know, I've never tried DCS. I've heard so many good praises about it. How realistic, how accurate the flight model is for certain planes, certain helicopters. The whole military aspect just doesn't appeal to me, however, so I've been a bit lazy to get into it. I'm more into the civil aviation stuff. So looking forward to X-Plane as well. We'll see how that goes. And looking forward to the future updates in Microsoft Flight Sim, because this sim is amazing. I mean, it's a great balance between casual flying and hardcore simulation for flying, right? It's not the best at simulation, but it's a great balance in between everything. Plenty of room for improvement, but as it is, it's already great. Alright, let's line up here. Let's make sure we have our trims proper. Takeoff trim, set that down. Rudder trim, let's put it around that point. Should be good. Let's do another gumps check. Gas, looks good. Undercarriage, mixture, prop, switches, trims also. Maybe should be T-gumps because we need the trims as well. Hey, thank you for the follow, Andre. Wish me luck in the takeoff. I did it wrong actually. I should have held the brakes. That's okay. We'll try it out anyway. Airspeed's alive. I also have not programmed in the next airport just yet. Oh my goodness, this is going to get hairy. Woo. Pitch for 73. That sudden yaw to the left is super scary, right? I'm not sure if it should be like that. It does seem a bit dramatic, but we'll live with it. Pitch for 73 knots until we're clear of this mountain in front of us. There you go. Push forward a bit more. Okay, that looks clear enough. Oh, losing airspeed here. Nose down, nose down. Oh my goodness. It's like I need more right rudder. My goodness, 1 second guys, huh? Might be some updrafts as well. I'm not sure what's happening. Alright, 73 knots. Should be good enough. Let's start with the nose down for 85 knots. There's 85. Flaps 10. Continue with that acceleration. It's 90 knots. Flaps up. Looking good. Now we can pitch up around 98 to 100 knots. Start pulling back on the RPM. See how fast she climbs. Get away from all the trouble. Nice. Pulling back on the RPM, pulling it back, pulling it back. 2000 RPM, 2010. Looks good. Alright. Let's get stable here first. Aux fuel pump to standby, turn off the landing lights. You can release the inertial separator, go back to normal mode. We're clear of clouds here. Go up to 7,000. And then as we stabilize here, left rudder, I'll get back to chat in a bit. 1 second, guys. Let's go and plug in the next waypoint, which is... Oh, I think I plugged that in already. Whiskey Victor 2-1, yeah. Alright. I did plug that in. Okay, good. I think we have a troll in our midst. Hopefully not. Give you the benefit of the doubt. Hey, African. Thank you for joining the stream. How are you? Yeah, I think it has to be adjusted, doesn't it? Larger, unless MVP is just so good at it, it makes it look so easy. Maybe there's so much stuff happening as well. That's the part I'm not sure of. I would like to get inputs from people who have watched his series, because MVP has a paid tutorial for flying the Kodiak 100 in the simulator. And some people bought it. Maybe that detail is there. We'll see. Awesome, Breezewind. Thank you for all the inputs. Glad you were here. Really helped a lot. Keeping us safe-ish. Have a good one, man. Enjoy your flights as well. Stay safe. That's very true, Larger. I think that's more likely the case. Some more tweaking in there. As it is, it's great already, but could always do for some improvements, right? Continuous improvements. Right. Level off here. You can see the side slip we're entering as we level off. That means we need to let go of the right rudder trim. Everything is in the green, the engine instruments. But I think we'd want our ITT to be less than 700, which it is. Yeah, I think we'll keep it that way. Fly it fast. Start turning here, following the flight plan. Hey, PDX, happy holidays! How are you doing, man? Enjoying the CRJ? I love seeing the photos she share. Looks like you're pretty hooked with the CRJ yourself. It's amazing. $7,000. Keep it at 7,000. Yes. That being said, PDX, on the massive giveaway stream coming on Friday or Thursday night for you, there is one Kodiak that will be given away. So there is a chance you can get it for free, along with all the goodies. I've been sharing it with the stream a while ago in case someone just joined. I would recommend you guys join 2 days from now, the stream, usual time, but instead of trucking, it will be a Christmas special. We'll basically be doing just giveaways, I think, with all the giveaways that we will be doing. I think it's just going to be giveaways full on out, and we'll just be opening a browser, seeing what those giveaways are about, what the products that we'll be giving out are. This is all thanks to, first and foremost, Fabio for the idea. I saw him do it in his Thanksgiving stream, and I realized I could do something similar on a smaller scale. So I did the same. I reached out to developers, and they were more than happy to oblige. So they gave me keys for giveaway, and that's what we'll be having. So in total, guys, more or less, we have been able to get around 1,000 USD worth of giveaways for products that the different developers, modders are giving away. It's a combination of flight sim, truck sim, and train sim. Of course, mainly truck sim though, because we are still predominantly a truck sim channel with some other sims coupled in between. So highly recommend you guys join. 24th, it's not 8 o'clock Zulu, it's 8 o'clock my local time, which is UTC plus 8. So I think that's 12 midnight, yeah, Zulu. 24th, 0100 Zulu. trains. Yeah. Hey, recovery. Musta pre? Welcome back. How are things? Are you on holidays already? Hope you are. Smaller than... That's not smaller. Well, it's thanks to the developers, really. I'm just asking around stuff, and it's their handiwork that I'm giving away. So props to them for all of this generosity. I'm so happy with the kind of emails that I've been getting, kind of replies I've been getting. They're super excited about these things because they love giving back to the community, maybe even more than I do. So they're very enthusiastic about it, and that someone reached out to them to give away copies is something that they really like. Maybe we're a bit too close to these clouds, huh? Try and get away from it. Dovetail Games has given you over 100 keys the past 3 years. Oh my goodness. That is massive. Yeah, they definitely understand that kind of thing. Right. Yeah, the John Ruda trucks. We'll be giving away 3 John Ruda trucks during the stream as well. 3 John Ruda trucks, 2 bar trailers, 5 Z-Mod sounds. But yeah, they also pitched in. So they also pitched in. What I'm waiting for at the moment is SES. I think they're already on holidays though, so I don't think I'll be getting a reply from them already. I think I emailed them too late. That's my bad. But yeah, they haven't given me any keys for the base game or the DLC. They haven't replied to me yet. So I think Alex, Darius, and Nemiro are probably on holidays already. Unfortunately. Yeah, I think with the way the giveaways are, how many products are being given away, I think right now we have more items to give away than we have viewers. So that means everyone will win something, and probably some people will even win more than once. Yeah, it all depends on how many people turn out there. But if we're talking about the normal kind of audience, it's going to be something like that. Because I also don't want to title. So when we do our Christmas stream on Friday, I won't be titling it giveaway stream or something, because some people will join just for the giveaway, right? This is my way of giving back to you guys who have been watching, who have been supporting me. So if you don't know, then you don't know. And if you know, that's because you've been joining, you've been watching. So it's going to be our little secret, right? Those who are watching in YouTube, those who are joining us on Twitch, those who are hanging out with us on Discord, this is for you guys. So if you're someone new, you found us by accident, and that's great. Welcome. You joined just in time. But yeah, I'm not a fan of titling my streams giveaway just to get viewers. It's mainly for those who are already in and are really interested. Not just for the giveaways, but really for the content. Please no one join in live, thank you. What if one guy wins everything? No, the Nightbot has a very smart way of doing it. It's like there is a list of people who are eligible, and when they win, they become ineligible for the next one unless I reset it. So everyone will win once first before we get a chance for some people to win twice, something like that. So at least the system is smart enough for it. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not really doing this for the views, right? Not doing this for growing the community or getting more people in. I don't want to do a giveaway because of that. I want to do a giveaway because I want to thank you guys. And initially, I was thinking of using my own money to buy stuff and give away, but that would be very limited with the money I have. So thanks to Fabio for the idea that I could actually reach out to developers and have them give the products, and I will be the vessel. I have to thank Fabio about it. I haven't told him yet, but I think he's too busy anyway. He has a great community on his own. But yes, I think he will appreciate that. That's amazing, Face Cake. That is amazing. Thank you. Glad you made it to the stream today. Did someone say giveaway? Giveaways with a capital S, Scotsman. Yes, you won't want to miss the stream on Friday. And then again, you don't miss streams anyway. So really thankful for your constant attendance and your constant firsts, right? Glad you're here. And yes, feel free to leave me in the background as you train or do some stuff. More than okay with me. Man, look at how stable this plane flies now. With nice enough winds, right? Goodness, that feels good. That's why you do it too. Not a fan of advertising. Hey, free giveaways. Then it should be for the community. Not for people who join just to win something. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We're doing this for the supporters. Trains are very good. Hey, Hillsman, thanks for the raid. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Oh, look at that. Yeah, that might be more up your alley, Scotsman. That might be more up your alley. And I love the feeling of hand flying this plane. It has such high-tech avionics, but hand flying it is so good. The avionics are there more as a guide rather than a crutch, right? 1 second, let me just grab a drink here. Oh, still at 7,000 feet. Surprising for me. Doing good, Hillsman, doing good. Thanks for joining. Have you been flight simming as well? What have you been streaming? Right, I think it's time to study a bit of what this airstrip looks like. Let's try and spot it from above first. Whiskey Victor 21 is Steedwood Farm. Looks like it's going to be a runway 21 approach. Looks like it's a golf course. It's a grass airstrip. Going to be tricky. And we are nearing Class Bravo airspace, but not quite. Washington Dulles, is that how we call it? Kilo India Alpha Delta. Let's start slowing down here. I have not, PDX, I'm normally very conservative when it comes to updating my drivers, because past experience has taught me if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I've broken it quite a number of times already, and I've had enough. So I normally don't upgrade unless I need to. So I'm not sure actually. Let me have a quick look what version I'm in. I should have the installer here. 471.96 is my version. What's yours? What's the current version now? 490? But yeah, 471.96 is from when? 1 second. From September is when I downloaded this, and I haven't updated since. Yeah, it works. Hey, Christopher. Glad you made it, man. How are things? Let's go back up to 7,000, please. Thank you. Let's trim it properly. Airstrip should be right below us. Good luck finding it with these clouds. Oh, look at that. Smart Guy 323. It says prop. What plane is that? Yeah, September. I normally update only when I'm playing a new game, and that new game is crashing because I have old drivers. But since I hardly play any new game, it's mostly flight sim and truck sim, right? Now the newest game I guess is Diablo, but it didn't crash. So unless it crashes, I'm not updating, or unless I hear that it has a massive performance benefit. I heard about that. Yeah, the latest, previously latest version of the drivers were causing problems with MSFS. I thought it was fixed with a beta already, but maybe it got broken again with a newer update. Ah, the September version. Okay, I see. Almost Hillsman. Yeah, Mrs. Clumsy has been hard at work preparing our itinerary. Actually, after the stream later tonight, we'll be going somewhere. We'll be going outside, enjoying the holidays. So yes, we are prepared thanks to Mrs. Clumsy. We have our itinerary planned. It's going to be mostly staycations because traveling is still not comfortable enough for me. Right? I'd rather stay home and stay safe and just explore in the area. Oh my goodness, guys, there is absolutely no gap here. This is overcast. There's a slight gap there. Okay, 1 second. Maybe there is a chance we see something. Good night, Face Cake. Love the name. Thank you for your company. Catch you again next time and hope you can make it to the giveaway stream. Catch you soon, man. Expecting to see a Christmas tree behind me. Oh yeah, that's a good point. The Christmas tree is actually to my left, but yeah, it's not visible in the cam. Because behind me is Mrs. Clumsy's desk, so a tree wouldn't fit there, unfortunately. A few bottles of brandy sounds good. Yes, I like the sound of that. Well, in our case it would be wine, but any alcohol, I think. Yes. I still want to take Mrs. Clumsy to that place I went to before. For those of you who are into trucking and know TKK from ProMods team, I met with him a couple of weeks back. We went to this place. Very nice beer in my opinion. My goodness, it's been a while since I've had beer. And now that I've had it again, I keep craving for it. I hope I can go back there soon. No worries, man. No worries at all. Thanks for staying as much as you could. And yes, good luck at work. Hope you get your holidays soon. Enjoy, man. And catch you on Friday. Forget the turkey, alcohol matters. Definitely agree with that. Oh my goodness, there is no gap in the sky here. Shall we see? What is the minimum safe altitude in this area? It is 3,200-ish. Yes. Around 3,200 based on the VFR chart. So we can descend. We can descend and see if it looks better down there. I still see a gap there. So maybe we can go beyond there. I'll see. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a gap right there. Let's push on through. It's going to be uncomfortable, guys. 1,000, almost 2,000 foot per minute descent. Bear with me. With an unpressurized plane like this, I've heard it can get quite uncomfortable if you do steep descents. Bear with me. Hang in there. Get there soon. Okay. Should be runway 21. 212 heading. Let's go for OBS mode here. Of course, let's adjust the 212. And that, I think, is a good enough approach for us. One second, guys. Ooh, so hard. So small. 212. Okay, that's the one. Let's continue descending. There's the airstrip, I think. Right in front of us. Right? That's the one. Does look like it. Let's descend to 3,200 feet. Yeah, it does have a bit of visibility in here, I think. Yeah, that's the airstrip for sure. No, I'm not so sure anymore. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Should be this one. Where the heck is it? Definitely overcast here. Let's get a bit of distance, I would say. Level of at 2,400. Actually, we need to be lower because we still have clouds here. Dang it. Let's maybe descend to 2,000 feet. Let's get flaps 20. Could it be it? That looks like a dirt airstrip rather than a grass airstrip. But it sure looks like an airstrip, doesn't it? That might be it. That might be it. Okay, let's try that. Let's get a bit of space away. Let's just follow a typical pattern here. Goodness, the clouds are really starting to lower. That sure looks like it. Yeah, that's good enough for me. We can land there. Okay. Alright, sewer gumps check, gas. Yeah, looks good. Undercarriage we have, but on sec gas we don't have everything good yet. Aux fuel pump, turn that on. Undercarriage, we're getting too slow. One second. Undercarriage, yeah, flaps are full. Mixture is in high idle. Props full forward. Okay, good. Alright, start descending. Airport elevation is 440 feet, so we're below 1,000 feet now. Start turning base. And then let's go direct to final. Should have visibility soon. Wonder if it's that one. No, still not. Rocket engine in his plane. It would be too much, unfortunately. I think it's this one. I don't see it, guys. I don't see it. Yeah, I think it's that. Maybe it's this one. No, still not. I think it's that soil there. Maybe. Level off here. Yeah, I think it's this one. The most unorthodox approach. Alright, here it is. Alright. Here it is. Alright. Let's keep it steady. Man, that is too late. That is too late. Pull back a bit, flaps up. Oh, that is no problem stopping at all. Oh my goodness. That was powerful braking right there. Wow. It's definitely STOL. It definitely is. Even if I floated along like half the runway there, it still made it through. My goodness, that's powerful. How's it going? Ducky? Hey, Kivo. I definitely am liking it. My goodness, this is an amazing plane. Amazing plane. Oh, one thing I forgot. The switches. Yeah. I did a gump check without the S. My bad. Alright, let's see if Skypark recognized that. Indeed. We have 3 legs left. Oh my goodness. And then we have part 2. But yes, I think that's a good sneak peek at what this plane can do, what this plane is capable of. It was built for these environments, for sure. And it's amazing at it. Even if I am messing it up, still, it's working more than proper for us. It's amazing. Right, let's turn off the air conditioning. Let's go ahead and cut off the engine. Go to feather mode. Love that sound as it spools down. Very nice. Bullet train. Oh yeah. Definitely more happenings in the plane though. Ooh. Goodness. So somehow, we still made it in one piece. I love the colors here. The passengers are a bit shocked, I think. They have zero reaction. Still in a state of shock. But yes, we made it. We made it somehow. Is it really this one though? Did we land on the correct one? Let's have a look before we end the stream. So Needwood Farm. It is the one. Okay. So yeah, we landed here. Let's have a look at the breadcrumbs. Yeah, it is the one. Okay. So that's the one, and then I landed somewhere, I think halfway of the runway, and then we were able to stop in a matter of hundreds of feet and yeah, turn around. Very nice. Yeah, so that's like not the best pattern. This is where we downwind, base, and then final, and we kind of thought that, or I kind of thought it was somewhere here, and it wasn't, and then had to swerve around to the other side. But we made it, and without the need for setting up a visual approach in the G1000 NXI, just with the help of the OBS, so I'll take it. I'll take it. I have not flown either, Ducky. Yeah, I'm looking forward to flying those in the sim eventually, so I get to learn about them more. Because I'm very new to aviation. Normally, I only learn about stuff as I fly them in the sim. And yeah, those ones I haven't really flown yet. But hoping to be exposed to those soon. Good. Let's go and exit the passengers here. And the cargo first, for sure. Let me go and remove them bit by bit. I really like this part. Especially with on-air, with Sky Park. Simulating this is just so cathartic, you could say. Like small things, but these small things add up, right? Unloading the cargo. Or even you want, like if you have something like that, you can even load it very slowly. Maybe not that. Like less boxes, right? Something like that, and then disappearing. I just love that immersion. Although the people don't really stand and walk, they just disappear, but I can take that too. And now it's an empty plane. Very nice. Hey Cap, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream, everybody, and I think we'll call it there. I think I've had enough excitement for one stream. That was pretty tiring, but I loved it. Oh yeah, this is something I forgot. This is something I should include in the checklist. Yeah, the inertia reel indeed is this one. That locks the seat belts, right? Instead of being loose, it locks it in place. So that's something you use for takeoffs or landings. Thank you for joining. Join just in time as the stream is ending. But yes, hope to see you again soon. Hope to see everybody soon. Remember the stream we have 2 days from now. That will be a big one. So catch you there, everybody. In the meantime, yes, let's get some rest. Let's get a bit of well-deserved break. Yes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, Larger. Thanks for flying with me for a bit, and hope you manage those issues soon. yeah, catch everyone then. Clumsy flying. Catch you guys soon and stay safe. See you guys in Discord in the meantime. Have a good one and bye bye.